Hello, this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to knit the scarf. As you can see, it's been done in 1, 2, 3 different colors, and each row, the gray is 4 ridges of purl. Dark gray, light gray is 4 ridges. The white is 3 ridges, and so on. So I've been knitting for the homeless, and I thought, what else can I knit? So I saw this picture, and I asked her how many stitches she cast on. She said 220 stitches, and she used bulky yarn. Okay, so I am going to show you how to knit this stitch. Super easy. And it looks elegant. This is the wrong side and this is the right side, so either way can be used, and it looks elegant and it's mindless. You don't have to think anything about it, and then you just knit. Okay, so let's get started. You need to grab a bulky yarn, which is a 5 weight, or even if you have a 6 weight, that would work. And the measurements for the scarf would be about 60 inches long, and the wideness, it depends on how wide you want it, how many rows you want to knit. Like I said, 4 ridges, so total of 20 ridges has been knit. Ridges, and I will show you what ridges mean. So grab the yarn that you have and let's get started. Okay, the yarn I will be using is Lion Brand Wool Spun. It's a 5 weight. I have a hard time knitting this on my Addy machine, so therefore that's why I knit these 5 bulky yarn on with my hands, and I don't want to break my Addy machine. I did knit a couple of items with this number 5, but it gives a hard time, so I would not want to, go through a terrible, I don't want to break my machine. So I said to myself, let me try to figure what I can knit. So what I'm going to do is I have a total of 5 of these, and then I found this, so I'm going to put this in the middle. Just going to see how I can figure that out, and then go from there. And yeah, so this is me first time knitting this type of way. Instead of, I cast on so many stitches and I knit the length, but this time I'm going to be knitting this way. So what I did is I cast on total of 220 stitches, okay, with the brown, and I will show you how to knit. What the easiest way, I know lots of people are having trouble doing purl, having the yarn on the front and knitting it. So if you're like that, you can knit yarn on the back. And I'm using my prime circular needles. Okay, it's a 13 US. I'm using the thickest I have because I want this to be nice and soft. Okay, so what you do is, after casting on 220 stitches with your number 5 bulky yarn, and if you want it longer, you can cast on more. This is 220. So what you do is, usually the first stitch I don't knit, but this is being the picture that I showed you, I'm going to be knitting. So we're going to be knitting. That's all we're going to do. And then when you turn your back, you will see the purls. If you knit it on the front, this is how it looked like. You would have the purl right away. But like I said, there's so many people having difficulties knitting purl, so they usually knit. When you knit 2 sides, you create the purl stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to be knitting. That's all we're going to be doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish one ball and see how many ridges, and I will show you what ridge means. Okay, so this is one row that we're knitting. To make a ridge, you need to knit 2 rows to create that nice purl stitch. See, we have the half right now at the moment, but when we knit 2 rows, okay, so I'm going to be knitting just like this. This is all I'm doing. So I will knit and I will come back to show. I'm going to knit all the way. So 220 stitches I'm going to be knitting. That's all I'm doing. Like this. Okay, so I will finish this row and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm almost at the end. It's a challenge to knit, 220 stitches. It takes time. Okay, so I knit the last stitch and I turn my work and I start knitting again. Knit, knit, knit. Okay. And then you can see the purl is on the other side. So I'm going to knit a couple of rows and I will come back and show you how you can see the ridges. See? Okay, so this is one ridge. We did one ridge. We knit 2 rows and then we create the one ridge. So I'm going to be knitting, and if you're doing it with me, we'll be knitting 4 ridges like this, and then you can change your yarn color. But I'm just going to see how one ball I can knit with, and then I just want to put this. I think I only have one ball. I found this in my stash, and the brown matches this color, so I thought this would be perfect to put it in the middle. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so I will knit a couple of rows just to give you an idea. And it's super soft because of the nature of the yarn is soft. It has, I believe, 20% wool in it. Okay, 80% acrylic. It's really hard. 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and it's made in Turkey. Yeah, I know it's made in Turkey because I saw it somewhere. Yeah, here, made in Turkey. Okay, so it's super soft and nice. Again, it's the Lion brand yarn, wool spun, and this is in my stash, so you don't have to use this yarn, whichever yarn you have that is bulky. It can be a 5 weight, 6 weight. Some 6 weights are like 5 weight, so you can play around with it and use up the yarn that you have in your stash. So I will knit a couple of rows and I will show you how it looks like, because this is going to take me time. Like I said, I cast on 220, and it's about 150 centimeters, so that's about 60 inches long, and the wideness you can work with that, but I am aiming for a 6-inch wide, at least 6-inch, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'll be right back. See how it looks nice. Okay, I've been knitting, and it's going very slow. So I just finished my 3rd row. As you can see, there's the one ridge, and I am creating the 2nd ridge. To finish the 2nd ridge, I need to knit my 4th row, R-O-W. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit, just show you, and I will let you do the rest. You can use your scratch, leftover yarn, make it colorful. Okay, and see, as soon as I am knitting the 4th row, our 2nd ridge is here. So you can do 2 more ridges and then change the color if you want. But like I said, I want to finish finish the brown yarns that I have, and I just noticed that here there's something wrong. Yeah, because when the yarn goes, usually on my other circular needles that I have bought, I had no issues, but on this one, for some reason, it picks the yarn. It's not that bad. Well, I just started with this project, so I just opened it from the box. Maybe it's new. It will get, yeah, I think it's going to get better the more I, but it is catching the yarn. Yeah. You know, you pay so much money and you want it to be perfect, but nothing's perfect. So I will let you knit. And when I finish this scarf, I will post it on my Instagram page for you guys to look at it and see how it looks like. But I did show you a sample of how it's knit. And so the more you knit, the more it's going to be wide. So again, this is the length that we're knitting, and this is how it looks like. It gives you that nice texture on both sides being same. And well, when you change the yarn, it will give you that different structure. So I hope you like this tutorial. It's just lots of knitting involved. And yeah, so you just knit, knit, knit. That's all you do. And this is how you count your ridges. 1, 2, like this. And when you turn your work, see, there's 1, and then here's the second ridge. But I have to knit 1 more rows to create the finished ridge. So this is like the half of the ridge. Okay, but this is where we started first, and I am finishing when I'm knitting the 4th row. I am finishing the second ridge. As you can see how it looks like. It's nice and full texture. So I hope you like this tutorial. And yeah, stay tuned for more tutorials will be coming. And check out my other tutorials. I have over, I don't know, 600, maybe close to 1,000 tutorials. Lots of yarn unboxing for you guys to look at. This would be a beginner friendly, I would say, for new knitters. Yeah. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And yeah, I will see you on my next tutorial. Happy knitting!